All right, guys. So I'm going to be doing something very cool today, very spectacular today, and it's not something very new, but something that's really going to make sense. So right now we are going to make an analysis of the Ethereum USDT chart, and I'm just going to make a short analysis to make future prediction of the price action of this particular chart and see what we can make out of this chart right now. And if you check through here, you'll see that currently Bitcoin is apparently making a reversal, and at the same time that's going to happen from Ethereum. Over time, let's say in the past few days, we've experienced some major push from Ethereum starting from the 9th of June this month, where it moved from the range of 2,500 headed to around 2,800, and many people thought it was going to 3,000. But here's the catch. Let's look at the previous data. So right now we're actually looking at it on a 4 hours candle chart. So let me just put it on a daily time frame, and let's look at something. I'm not going to be talking about indicators. I'm just going to show you. I just want to show you something really quick. So apparently you could see that so far in this month of June, or is May, we've been in a trending market. Let's say in a ranging market. The market has been ranging, so oscillating around this particular price. So I'm just going to come back so we can get to see the clearer picture of what is happening in the intraday system of the market. So let me put this back on the 4 hours time frame, and let's get right into this business. Okay. So now the first thing we have here is to look at the particular ranging price of the market. That's been oscillating the price of 2,300 to the maximum of 2,700, and if you would agree with me, it has been going according to this pattern until this very day where it broke out of this pattern. That's when we said, all right, we think it is right time for it to get out. And there's been lots of rounds of information, speculation going on the crypto Twitter space saying that we are headed for 3,000. But I, for a person, I don't want to believe that, not because it is already going down. If you are someone who follows me on some of my WhatsApp channel, you'll see where I've talked about the market actually making a retracement, mild retracement. So now let me just give you some insight to what I feel and what is actually making me see that, or just some backup to my claim. So if you pick it from here, let's first consider the from the point of view of trend lines. So let's look at this particular move here. So we can call this a trend line. I'm just gonna make this I'm gonna make it a straight one that's gonna be dotted. So now if you look at this, speaking as a technical analyst here, I'm not much of one, but if you look at this, I can rather, instead of just seeing this thing bouncing and bouncing, you might think that it's gonna bounce like this, that maybe it is gonna go like this. What's happening to this stuff? Maybe it is going to what do I use to draw this stuff? Demonstration should work. Why is it picking? Oh, sorry. Where's the hot button? So you might think it is going to go like this, then bounce like this, then like this, but instead, yeah, that's cool, that's right, but instead I'm going to show you something rather very, very, very technical, something we can hold on to. So now I think this is forming head and shoulder pattern. That is why the retracement is actually mild, not very strong, mild. Let me just show you what I'm looking at right here. So if you are to draw your normal head and shoulder pattern, let's try to draw that. What do we have on previously? So we have this, 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 we have something. Okay, so if I'm trying to draw the head and shoulder pattern here, we're going to have it like this, and this will be the left shoulder. Then we're going to be having another top around this point. You get around this point. Yeah, let's just say 9 or something. Then would have, because considering the fact that the maximum retracement we want to have right here will be around this point, you have another shoulder, then maybe it comes back here and bounce on. Now I want to let's make something clear out of this place. So this, apparently I would rather put it around here, and I'll put this here, pull this up. So this is going to give us another trend line in this trend line, but this is not very right, because this is not actually forming the real head and shoulder pattern. It is not 100%, but if I'm to speak right now, I would say first thing we are looking at right here is some kind of channel. Now let me clone this. I think this is about to form some kind of channel, and just stay with me, you see how I get to validate all of my claim. This is like forming a kind of channel right here. Okay, easy balanced. So let me just put it back in. Now, if you would agree with me, if you are having a channel, like if you're about to form a channel, you're going to have something which is going to come up from here up to this point, right, before it comes back down to bounce on the particular channel, then go up. Now if you follow this is like showing the head and shoulder pattern. Oh sorry, that was gone. Let me draw it again. So we have something like here that's going to hit the top of the channel, then come back down here, then hit it up before it goes. Now if you would agree with me, that is almost like an head and shoulder pattern, but you can't really call it an head and shoulder pattern because it's not fully there. Like the retracement for the right shoulder is not full, and for me I won't call that an head and shoulder pattern. So that is why we are going to pick it for the first part. Let's draw this path line. Let me remove this, and now let's make use of this. Make this right here. So let's assume we have this right here, and we have another one here. Then maybe from here it breaks out, because it's definitely going to break out of the channel. Because if it doesn't break out of the channel, then that means it is going to come from here down to this part, or maybe something lower than that, or maybe from this point down to this part. Let me just draw that so you can get to see it. Let me draw it. So maybe it is going to come from this point, yeah, and that would definitely put us in another trend. And let me see, and maybe something like this, then before it breaks out, or maybe it breaks in further to this point before it breaks out. So those are a lot of possibilities. So the first thing to consider is this. Then I'm going to draw you the second possibility that will make like sense out of everything. So another thing we can get to look at is if it comes right here, comes back, goes up, down, and it breaks out. Either it breaks out from here, or if it has to come down from this particular point, it is definitely going to want to try to test this particular zone here. You understand me? So it's going to want to test this zone here. Let me draw that with an horizontal line so you can see what I'm talking about. This particular point which I marked with a triangle is going to want to test. Why is this thing showing me this? I said so, an horizontal line rather. So it is definitely going to want to test this particular resistance in the bullish pattern, which is going to become a support right now. It's going to want to test this point, and there will be a lot of tests around there. So the markets might even stay a little while here. So if it breaks out, it's definitely going to be around this zone for a little while before it breaks out. So it's either from here breaks out like this, it either breaks out like this, or we have something else that comes out like this, or the break comes further, like the reversal comes further before it breaks out again. Now there's something I'm trying to put out here. If it comes further to this 2595 area, definitely is going to have a little resistance around testing this place again, and maybe try to double bottom here, or just do this and breaks out. Now I'm not just drawing all of these things for fun. Let me make them a little bit more visible. I'm not just drawing them for fun, because they are all going to give us some overview of what we need to see in the market, right? So let's look at these possibilities, and this is where everything is all going to make sense right now. I'll just make them thicker and take it out from dotted line. Okay, I'll make this one's dotted line, so I'll make them dotted line. I'll leave it as dotted line or dashed line. Now if you look at this, if it happens to break out from this particular trend line around this point and breaks, like it reverses further or retraces further, definitely we are going to be having a bearish trend line, which might not be very strong, which might not last very well, but we are going to be having this bearish trend line, as you can see right here. So the market is going to form a real triangle in total like this, and definitely this is the strong point. This particular place where it is right now is going to be the strong point at that time, and that is why it is having tough time breaking lower than this point. If Ethereum, if this happens right now, like breaks lower than this point, we are going to be having around there. And from what I see, I think we might have something around 2,497 before it goes up, but let's just assume it's going to go with what we have right now. So if the market breaks out from this particular trend, like maybe it reverses from here, bounces from here and out, we are going to have a trend line. If it comes further, we are going to have this bearish trend line, and it's going to have some little sweat time before breaking out. Breakout is not just going to happen like that. Regardless, you must bear in your mind that this is crypto market. Anything can happen. This is the financial market. Nobody owns it, but I'm just trying to postulate possibilities here. What we are looking at is the possibility of the market for you to make informed decisions as a trader, to set your entry, to set your exit, and know when to come in or stay out of the market. So now we have this already here. Definitely this trend line is really not making. This trend line is definitely not making, so maybe it is happening like this, or I'll just leave it like this, because this might still close as a shadow. You know, a lot of things happen in the crypto market. So if you have this, definitely what I'm seeing from this point of view right now is that we are going to have an head and shoulder pattern, regardless of whatever it comes to. Either it comes here, we are still definitely going to have an head and shoulder pattern. If it dips down to 2,493, it's going to come back up, then make another dip, and that's what we are definitely going to have. So if I were you and I want to set a trade at this particular point, what I would do right now, if I want to long a trade, I would wait for this rally to end, this particular retracement to happen, and be done with. So maybe I set my entry point around here for safety, and I set my stop loss around this point. Right, I set my entry around this point, and I set my stop loss around this point, because anything below this, then we are back to the red zone. You understand me? So if I set my entry around this point and my stop loss around this one, or just to be very safe, you might want to set your entry here. I don't know where you might want to put your stop loss, maybe somewhere lower. So if I do that, I'm going to long it till this very point. I'm not going to long it till 3,000, because according to JJ Murphy, based on technical analysis, one number has a psychological effect on traders. So I'm not going to set it for 3,000. A lot of people are waiting for it to break out to the 3,000 zone like it did before. So I'm going to set my take profit around 2,900 and something there, about close to 3,000, but not on 3,000 as a whole. Then at that point, I'm going to take out my profit. The first take profit would be around 2,800 and something, or around this point. This would be my first take profit. My second take profit would be around here. Then I'll be out of the market to see if it breaks out. If it breaks out, fine. But one thing I'm very sure about is, if it breaks out, it's still definitely going to retrace, because there are some hands that needed to be shaken out of the market. So if it breaks out from this point, I'm going to wait and short it from this point back down here, or I just wait for it to rally up back. So if I short it, I'm very sure it is going to still want to hit this trend line or somewhere close. So if I start shorting maybe from here, I will take my profit right from this point. That's cool. I'll take my profit from this point, 2,756. You don't have to be like want to trade it to the very last bit of the trend line. So if I take my profit around this place, I'm going to stay out immediately and see where it goes. If it goes further, good luck. I'm going to long it from the bottom. But if it's just to be on the safe side, if it from here takes up and breaks up, because there has been lots of anticipation for the crypto market to just, for the bullish trend, because we're still in the bullish trend, whatever way you might want to look at it. So I'll just take out my short profit from here and wait for the next rally point, maybe around here, or maybe around here, somewhere around there, wherever. Then I'm going to long it further beyond 3,000 and wait for the next rally. But if the market gets to do this, comes up, so when you enter your second trade around this place, you should take your first profit here to be on the safe side. So even when it comes down, you're not losing your money. So if it now gets to try to form this bearish trend line or go along with this bearish trend line, I would advise you maybe just stay out the market from your entry point. Just stay out the market from your entry point here, because it's going to be, it might be very deadly. If it goes lower, it's going to be dragging it further down here, or maybe down this place, or so nobody knows what might happen right there. And there will be a lot of speculation and uninformed decisions, because some people might feel like maybe it's going to come down here and from there break out. Some people might want to push it down here and break out, or maybe up here and down back and break out. So there are like 3 possibilities of breakout here, and that's why I'm saying that it is better you make the best opportunity from here. As you can see, there are 3 opportunities of a breakout, either from this point, this point, this point. Now that is after this. So if I were you, after making my long from here to the top here, I'm going to make my short from around this part, my short straight to this point. Then I'm going to wait for the next rally to see what's going to happen. If it goes up, I'll long it from here, take my profits here and see if it comes down. If it doesn't, I'll long out. But if it does come down, I'll just click out of the market, bail out of the market from this particular point. So I hope I've been able to say something useful for you. I hope I've been able to open your mind to see something cool in this market right now. So for me, I expect an head and shoulder pattern, regardless, maybe higher than this, maybe lower than this. I don't know, whatever you might want to call it, but I expect an head and shoulder pattern. And for this current day, you might have a push down to the zone. You might have a push down to the zone that is quite imminent. Maybe the triangle is trying to change out from this point. Maybe the rectangle is trying to break out from this point. Maybe you're going to have another type of rectangle. I don't know. That really doesn't make so much of a sense to me, but it is possible. There's nothing that's not possible. Maybe you might be having something around here again. Maybe you might be having another oscillating market that might be for this zone, or maybe like this. So I don't know. So I'll be eager to hear what you think about this. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen in the market? Let me know, let me hear from you, so we can get to rub minds together and let's talk. To when I start coming, we stay cool and play big. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video if you love it, and to get more premium content like this. I do weekly analysis just based on what I see from my point of view, and let's have nice conversations like this.